Hello, everybody. Welcome, friends, to Show du Jour. This is episode number 4. I have to start on a rhyme. This has been my summer hiatus show from Powered by Women, and I said I'm going to do 6 shows in 6 weeks, and I can't believe we're just getting over that halfway point with episode number 4. And thank you all for joining me, either here live or on replay. It is all good. And again, you are my guests. I want this to be as interactive as possible. I pick a topic every day and we just discuss the topic. And the one I chose today is based on, I used to do a therapy podcast, and it was called The Pause Button. And I had an episode around this topic. And it's honestly one of my favorites because it's been a big life lesson for me. And that is the beauty that is the struggle. And I'm not a religious person, but I am very spiritual. And I do tend to pull from different orientations, whatever resonates with me. And that Buddhist perspective that life is struggle, life is pain. And I used to hear that as a youngin' and just resist it. It's like, no, life is joy, life is love, and which it is. But it's sort of like we grow through the struggle, we grow through the pain. And I really have learned to embrace that. And those of you that know me know one of my favorite stories is the butterfly parable, which I'm actually going to read to you in a little bit. But, it's those dark passages that we all go through multiple times, sometimes back to back, and just learning to ride those waves versus trying to numb them out or push them down. It's just one of those things. And so I'm going to start with a song that I wrote last year. And thank you, John and Em, for all the tags. I see you're all tagging there. And we have a Facebook user who I don't know who, but thank you. Thank you for tuning in. So I'm going to start us off with a song that I wrote last year, wrote it last fall. And it's called Anchors Away. It's just about, I was starting to feel one of those dark passages come on, and I just decided to write a song about it and to give myself hope, and hopefully this will give you hope as well. Fear not as your roots come unbound, moonlight surrounds as you sail into the dark of the night. You will be fine through perilous times. It's all just a matter of becoming who you already are. Ooh. away, anchors away, anchors away. Ooh. Through your hands, past sands of time, what's left you'll find, true grit that will sustain you for life. There's pure gold in the dark night of the soul, a hero's journey never begins with one but ends with one. Anchors away, 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 anchors away. Ooh. Ooh. So yeah, sometimes, we just have to anchors away and take that dark passage. And M, you are listening from your car. That is dedication. Thank you. I'm not going to have a meditation, so it is perfectly safe to drive and listen, although M, you always add the best comments and questions, so maybe you should just stay pulled over because, don't want you driving off the road. Yeah. So I have some questions for you guys, you all, and that is, what helps you get through those dark passages? What helps you get through? And what has not helped you get through? I'm really interested to learn about your experiences with that. And I know for me, what helps me get through is writing, whether it's a poem, just something on a sticky note, a song, it truly helps. Yeah, Jon, music, poetry, and friendship have helped me immensely in pulling through dark patches. Yeah. Music, 1,000%. Yes. Yeah. Long walks help me through the roughest patches. Yeah, there's something about nature and just getting outside. I know there's that term called forest bathing that can really help. Grateful letters each morning help me. Yes. Oh my God, yeah, gratitude. And there's a lot of studies on gratitude, how truly it heals pain. It heals and kind of helps redirect where our focus is. Yeah, let's see. Everyone knows if my eye mask is on and earbuds are in, walk away. Space is so important. Yeah. I'm reading through your comments here, you guys. Just happy to, hello, Madeline. Hello. Just happy to be alive. Cooking, drawing, and walking and writing to my pen pals all over the world. I have no doubt you have a lot of pen pals all over the world. Yeah. Pups and gardening. Animals are so. And it's like they know. Our pets know when we're in a dark place or if we're not feeling well, if we're sad. They just know and they are there. I'm making sure I get everything here. Let's see what's going on here. Keeping my glasses on the whole episode, folks. Yes, what hasn't helped, constantly using cannabis to numb the pain. Yeah, yeah. When I was a teenager, I was a number. I would numb. I would numb and escape, and that certainly didn't help matters at all. And I'm really struck by what you all are sharing in terms of, you have those moments where it's just you and you're doing things to get you through those darker moments. And, and then as Jonathan said too, there is nothing like a really good friend or friends to be there, and it's not like we want to rely on other people to pull us out, but sometimes we need that, little help from my friends kind of thing. I don't like being cared for when I'm in a dark place. I want music, darkness, and to be left alone until it passes. But my dark place is physical pain. Yeah. That there's such wisdom in how you're caring for yourself, Em. There truly is. Yeah, I'm one of those people too. I tend to go under a rock. I kind of heal thyself first and then reach out, but everybody does it kind of differently. So how many of you all are familiar with the butterfly parable? I love it. I don't know how long it's been around. And one of the things about it, every time I look it up, it says anonymous wrote it. And there's such brilliance in this parable. If anybody knows who wrote the butterfly parable, put it in the comments or let me know if you're watching this on replay. Reach out to me because, I always like giving credit where credit's due, but this was written by anonymous, a very wise anonymous person, and I'm just going to read it. A person found a cocoon of a butterfly. One day, a small opening appeared. They sat and watched the butterfly for several hours as it struggled to force its body through that little hole. Then it seemed to stop making any progress. It appeared as if it had gotten as far as it could go no further. So the person decided to help the butterfly. They took a pair of scissors and snipped off the remaining bit of the cocoon, and the butterfly then emerged easily. But it had a swollen body and small shriveled wings. The person continued to watch the butterfly because he expected that at any moment the wings would enlarge and expand to be able to support the body, which would contract in time. Neither happened. I hate this part of the story. In fact, the butterfly spent the rest of its life crawling around with a swollen body and shriveled wings. It was never able to fly. What this person, in kindness and haste, did not understand was that the restricting cocoon and the struggle required for the butterfly to get through the tiny opening were life's ways of forcing fluid from the body of the butterfly into its wings so that it would be ready to fly once it achieved its freedom from the cocoon. Sometimes struggles are exactly what we need in our lives. If we go through our lives without any obstacles, it would cripple us. We would not be as strong as we could have been. We could never fly. By Anonymous. I've heard several versions of that story. So yeah, that's the parable of the butterfly, and I love it because I think there are so many lessons in it. The lesson that I hear is there is that beauty in the struggle. It sucks to know F and end, but there's beauty in it. And sometimes it just, we have to move through it to see it. And I know a couple years ago, it'll be about 2 years ago as of September. I mean, I was going through a very, very, very painful time. It was as if somebody took like the coarsest sandpaper and was just like on my heart. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I couldn't even listen to music. I was that dark. And the only thing I could do was write music. That was the only thing that helped. And it's interesting how in that process, it was like layer upon layer upon layer. And even a year later, I'm still writing songs about this. But it was just that process that helped me work through a really, really dark patch. And it's so ironic, because I wasn't eating during that time. I couldn't eat. And people were telling me, wow, you look great, because I lost weight. And it's like, no. But that's a whole other show in itself. Yeah, and what are you saying here? This parable reminds me of being a parent. Yes, you have to let them struggle sometimes. So damn hard. It is. It is. I'm not a parent, but I get that. And that's the other side of this parable, the other lesson of we do have to let people struggle. Of course, we step in when there's crisis, but sometimes people just have to learn their own lessons or gain their own wisdom. And if you're like me, it's all gained the hard way. Yeah, Em, that's a really good point here. I'm just going to scroll down here so I can see what you all are saying. I have felt like that butterfly at times. Yeah. But Jonathan, man, I'm telling you, all of that struggle is all to make those wings stronger, again, to force all that fluid into the wings, Your wings are getting strong. They are. Let's see, what else are you all saying here? Yeah. Joe, you're raising a really good point. I used to find so much solace in the pain, just wallowing in it. Yeah, sometimes we can make it our identity, yes. But now I try to get past the darkness without wallowing in my pain. I hear you very well. Yes. That is such a good point, Joe. Yeah. Sometimes it becomes the identity, and people don't know life any differently than to be in that dark place. And in a way, almost like hold on to it. But it's sort of like water, which is why in the song I wrote, it's sort of like you're on this boat going through the water. You're going through a dark tunnel. There will be light on the other side. I'm just scrolling here. Don't mind me. Let's see. Just making sure I'm not missing anybody. Oh, yeah. I have people tell me all the time they wish they were skinny like me. No, you don't. Right. Because you have a whole other reason that people don't understand. But hey, I bet you're told you look great, right? John, I feel your comments about wallowing in the pain as well. It took going to the very brink of existence for me to realize what I was doing. Yeah, I relate to that. I totally relate to that. Yeah. There's another butterfly thing that I want to bring up, and that is the butterfly paradox. It's interesting how butterflies get, different theories attached to them or stories. And I guess because, they go through such a painful transformation, and then there's such beauty on the other side. But that butterfly paradox is like, we humans are flawed. We don't want to do the heavy lifting. We don't want to be the caterpillar. We just want to be the butterfly. And that desire for beauty and freedom can sometimes, and then we go whoop, and then we dip because we didn't do the work that was needed to keep the wings strong. Yeah. And let me ask you all this, because I think, I'm a therapist, so I'm used to kind of jumping in. That's part of my job, but another part of my job is learning when to sit back and let the client be uncomfortable in the silence, or to be uncomfortable with an issue, as long as they need to be uncomfortable with it. But what do you all, because I'm really curious, when you think about when to jump in and when to not jump in, like what are those markers for you? You know, I'm really curious about that as well. Somebody has counseling in about 10 minutes. Says Facebook user. You know what? This is going to be a nice little prep for your counseling session, Facebook user. Yeah, so when do we jump in? When do we not jump in? You know, I'm not going to say anything about that. I would really like to get your feedback on that. When do you jump in? When do you not? Yeah. And maybe no one has anything to say about that. I don't know. For me, I jump in when it looks like the person is going to hurt themselves or hurt another person, is when I truly move into action. But other times it's like, no, I'm not going to deprive you or gyp you of your own personal growth if I just jump in and play Superwoman all the time. Jon, what are you saying? I've always been more of a listener. I feel if I jump in, I make the person feel small. That is a really interesting perspective. Can you say more about that? I sound like a therapist. Can you say more about that? Do you feel like if you jump in that you're just giving advice and you're not validating where the person's at? I'm curious about that, because that's a really interesting perspective, because yeah, we don't want to make the person feel worse. Yeah. So feel free to, oh, here we go. Yeah. I just feel like anything I say will be giving advice and cheapening the person's situation. And maybe there are times when that wouldn't be the case. Maybe because you're such a good listener, there might be some things that you could say. But I get where you're coming from. But Jon, you're really empathic. And I have no doubt that whatever you would say would be, just aligned with where the person is. And truly, sometimes all you need to say is, I'm listening. I'm here. And sometimes you don't need to say anything else other than that. Is, I'm here. I'm here. Joe, the marker for me to know when I'm needed is hard to tell. I know, it's true. My go-to is asking if my wife wants a foot rub. Aw, that's so sweet. That is really sweet. Just giving comfort or giving the offer to give comfort is wonderful. That way you're not trying to solve the issue, which, really it's not our jobs to do that, right? But to offer comfort, Joe, that's beautiful. Oh. Jon, hugs, love, and a hand to hold on to is what I give the most. Those speak louder than words, yes. I mean, really just, whether it's physical presence or virtual presence, it is so valuable. I know for me, when I've been in that space, the last thing I want to hear is advice. That is the last thing, because then it's like, no, you're not hearing me. I don't, this is mine to fix, but the space I'm in really sucks right now. Would you just sit with me? Would you just listen? Yeah, what you guys are saying is so true. So true. Yeah, Joe, thank you for that. I love that. What a loving thing. What a loving thing. So, man, I can't believe what time it is already. Rory! Hey! Wait, let me just read what you're saying here. Have been watching, but am at a loss for what to say. Yes, I try to offer support and people who are depressed, that they are not alone and it will pass with time. Yeah, it is hard for a person who's depressed to hear those words, but they do need to be said for sure. And it's not to cheapen the feeling, the darkness, but feelings do pass. That is a guaranteed fact, but they pass in their own time. Just somebody saying get over it is feelings, just they pass in their own time, kind of like when we were talking about grief last week. We grieve in our own time and in our own way. Yeah, Rory, I hear you on that. And oftentimes the best thing we can do, like you do, is to be present, is to just be present. There's no need to solve or fix, but oftentimes that presence, physical presence, emotional presence, is all that person needs. And even though it might not seem like they're taking it in, they are. Yeah. Ruby, and now I'm getting a foot rub. I always try to be candid about my own struggles with anxiety and depression. You never know who needs to hear it. Absolutely. It does pass with work and dedication to ourselves. Yes, it does. Yeah, we all struggle with it. I don't know a person on this planet that hasn't had some form of depression, that hasn't had some form of anxiety. It's just, God bless them if there's one person on this planet that hasn't had that difficulty. But man, we're all in that same boat, and we go through those dark times at different times, and sometimes at the same time. Yeah, Rory, I hear you on that. So I'm aware of the time. I was going to end with one more song. Man, it went so fast. But I don't know. Let me just say this before I do my song is we all go through it, and I think to pretend that we don't is a disservice to everyone else. I'm a therapist. I've been a therapist for a number of years, and I still have my bouts with it. I still do. I still get triggered by something and lose my mind for a day. Those things still happen, and they're always going to happen. None of us are perfect, and I think if we can just give comfort by our presence, by listening, is one of the best things. And like we were talking in the beginning, getting outside, getting creative can be so healing. We just sort of go layer by layer by layer. There's never a one and done with it, despite what some people may say. So let's keep at it. Let's keep being present for each other. And oh, I like that. Joe, you are just like these little pieces of gold here. Like my therapist liked to say, skills before pills. Yes. Sometimes we need it, though. Sometimes we do need it, just to take that edge off. And I want to thank you all for joining the conversation. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for directing this episode. And those of you on replay, feel free to chime in, because the conversation just doesn't end when I sign off. The conversation will carry at least for a couple days on this particular thread, and a number of you have reached out to me privately just to carry on the conversation, and I welcome that. These are heavy topics I'm bringing to the table, and so feel free to reach out as well. And so I'm going to end with a song that has the butterfly parable in the bridge. And I had to get it in somewhere because I love it so much as a reminder. And this is called Can't Stay Yesterday. Thank you, Joe. Facing toward the sun, feels like I'm not the only one to hear the sky calling me, time to fly. I will always find my way with my inner flame. There's so much more I can say, but I can't stay yesterday. This uncertain flight has me hungry for the northern lights. The tears I leave behind, I give thanks, I'm no longer blind. I will always find my way, and I guess I will today. There's so much more I can say, but I can't stay yesterday. The cocoon that binds you to break through, you know there's no one that can do this for you. And though the fight seems endless, soon those wings will fly away. As I leave behind what I thought was going to be my life, what I see in the sky, my heart soars me into flight. I will always find my way, and I guess I am today. There's so much more I can say, but I can't stay yesterday. I can't stay yesterday. I can't stay yesterday. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will comment. And I look forward to seeing you all next week, okay? Let's all hold each other in love and in comfort and kindness. See you all next week. Bye-bye.